Okay, now we can add the categories. So what we're going to do, I installed Astro Icon, Iconify, and MDI as well. So you do that by saying npx astro add and then icon, etc, etc. I've already done that, so I've got my thing running. So first of all, we'll create a component. We'll say category card astro, and what we will do, we will create a interface, and we're going to import icon, let's say from Astro, Astro icon hash components, and say interface props, and we're going to ask for the label, which will be a string. The icon will also be a string, and we're going to say the link will be a string. Then we will deconstruct that. So let's go with const label icon and link astro astro.props. Alright, now we can create our component. So we're going to have a div, and we're going to have an a with a href of, I'm going to remove that and put the backticks, and we're going to say / categories / $, open code braces link, and within this link we're going to have a div with a class of padding 4 and text white. What we're going to say is, start with an icon. Oops. And the name of the icon will be the icon. And we're going to give it a size of 30. And a class of text center. Okay, and then we want to have h1 of the label. Okay, so that's our card component. Now we're going to go into our index page, and actually I've created a data folder here, the categories in here. So I've got categories, and I've sourced a few categories from the iconers.org website. So I've got beach, camping, cabin, and all these things. So what we're going to do in index here, we are going to say what we want to do. We want to import the categories from the data categories file, and we also want to import the card, category card. Excellent. Okay, so now what we want to do, we want to go to, after our hero section, we want a div with a class of flex, justify between, padding of 3. I'm going to say background pink, edge 500. Okay, now we're going to loop through, so we're going to say categories dot map. And we're going to say category card. And what we want to do, category card, yeah, that's it. And I'm going to say label is cat.label. Link is cat.link. And icon is cat.icon. So this corresponds to label, icon, and links. So now put a dash here, make sure that's right. Okay, so I'm running on my machine, and here we go. So we've got the beach logo, and if we look at the link at the bottom, it shows beach, camping, cabin, and right now if I click on it, it doesn't give me anything. But what we're going to do now is make a listing for that specific category. So go pages, and we're going to make a file called categories, and we're going to make a file called square braces id Astro. And what we're going to do is we are going to import the categories again. And we are also going to import the default layout just to have consistency. And then we're going to say const category equals astro.params, and we're going to say const selected category equals categories dot find. I'm going to say cat dot link equals category. Right. So finding the link, and now we're going to export async function get static paths, and we are going to say return. We want a categories.map, and we're going to map the categories again, and we're going to say this time the params. I'm going to say category equals cat.link. Okay. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put the default layout. And I'm going to scale div with a class of hScreen, and div with a class of hScreen, and MX Auto. I'm going to say h1 with a class of padding 4, font bold, and the text is for Excel. And we're going to say properties related to, and we're going to say selected category dot label. Okay, so I'm going to rename this ID to be, it should be category. It's got in the square basis. There we go. So now we'll just close all of these. Index, okay. So now if we open our folder and we click on beach, I've made an error there. Just double check what I've got in the categories here. Oh, we're missing a, let's see if that makes some difference. Yeah. Okay, so we've got camping, properties related to camping, properties related to the city. Excellent. Pool. So we've created our categories section, and in the next video we'll start on making listings. What we could do as well is keep this hero section as well. So all we have to do that in our category file, we'll bring in hero, and then that way it'll be a little bit more consistent. Exactly. Excellent. And we can also add a little thing that says we'll have a span and then a tag goes back to home, so back to all properties. So when we click on one, it's back to all properties. We can put there, or we can put it underneath. Okay, awesome. We'll add some padding. That way we don't have to do it there. Okay, so back to all properties. Right. Okay, so now that we've successfully created our categories, I'll show you what I mean by the iconers, iconers.js.org. We've got material symbols, material design icons, and you can basically, let's say, what was it, beach? And you can choose which icon you wanted. So if we wanted to change it to MDI beach in the categories here, I could just say MDI beach. And if I look now at the home page, it's changed. So if we want the icon to show up there as well, all we need to do is kind of similar to this, we'll import icon, and we will copy that, and we will add that here. Selected category.icon. So there we go. And if we wanted to remove that, put the size here, we're going to say height of 48. Width 48. We'll change that, should we say size equals 60. And yeah, there we go. So if we go now to any of the other we've got exactly what we expected. The icon along with the, and we can change this back to properties to make sure I set class text dash pink dash 500 underline. There we go. Looks a little bit more. Okay, so there we go.